Wow, this looks pretty nice. For reference, this is on my OnePlus 9 Pro. Just a quick video that I wanted to record my thoughts before I forgot them. And I'm going to start this video off by saying that audio for me is kind of fun. So like if I go down to BYU Surplus, it's fun to try out some of the old computer lab style headphones and other things like that. Or going to like Savers or DI. Ooh, headphones. Can I plug these in? Do they still work? Can I see what they sound like? That's fun for me. So first of all, I just want to start off. This is the jlab Gravity Bluetooth earbuds adapter. This is an awesome product, sort of. I'll have a video on this at some point later. It'll be like my review. But mine have died for a few reasons that I'll save for the review. So I've also been looking for some actually waterproof wireless earbuds, because these aren't. And my headphones, which will get their own video, aren't waterproof either. I couldn't use them in the bathtub. And so what I ended up getting was the Jaybird Vista 2s. These guys, right here, oops, upside down. These guys. I spent, including tax, $160. It's like $10 tax. They're $149.99. A little more than I was wanting to spend. I was wanting to spend like $60 or so. But the point of this video, these headphones are flat unless you tune them differently. And like they have that custom equalizer preset that a lot of different brands are doing, where like you can take a hearing test on the jlab, or the Jaybird, sorry. This is jlab. These are Jaybird. On the Jaybird app, you drag a slider up for the bass just until you can hear it. Then you click next. You do that for the various frequencies they have in the test, and then it has a custom preset for you. I made a copy of that preset and modified it because it was way too bassy with that preset turned on. I had my mom try it too because her left ear is really bad at hearing. Her right ear is only okay, and I was curious what it would tune for her, and then I set it back to me because they're mine. Boy, really, really bassy. It's like this, imagine this thick rumble, and then you get other sounds popping and poking in and out of it. And that was specifically with the song Old Style by Rim de Glage. That's my go-to bass song for bass. There are other songs that are actually, I'm finding, a little bassier than that, but that'll get its own whole video. I'll talk about some of this more in depth later on at some point. I don't know when. But so with these, they had the bass was turned up to 9. My copy of the custom hearing test equalizer preset, I had the bass set to like 5 on that. So they're more colorful and they sound a little better with that, whereas with flat, they don't sound as good. But comparing flat to flat, the v-moda Crossfade, the v-moda M100 ANCs, wireless, they sound better flat. And in my observation, like, headphones, bigger drivers, like, have a look at that driver there. See how teeny that's going to be in there? Versus the driver on these things is massive compared to those. Bigger drivers make better sound for a whole lot of audio engineering reasons that I can't fully explain, other than it's probably going to be easier for them to push air around and make different low frequencies. And so my M100s sound better. There's wider separation, which is always common between earbuds and headphones. I'm curious now what like expensive $1,000 in-ear monitors sound like, or actual in-ear reference monitors sound like, as opposed to all the earbuds that I've used before. Yeah, but the headphones sound better. The earbuds sound good when you tune them, and I've gotten used to flat. I started out, when I bought these, I came from the v-moda Crossfade 2 wireless codex editions. They're a little bassier than these M100s. I liked that sound a little better, and these didn't sound as good. And then I found the review said if you tune them, you can get it just right. And so it's been this whole world of actually experimenting with equalizers for actual use on my headphones. But ultimately, I ended up going with them being left on flat for a bunch of reasons that I'll try and hopefully script out and write into their own video. But one of them is, I had a coworker who used to be in a band. The band is Sev versus Ev, and this is Evan from that band. He said you actually want flat headphones because then you hear how the artist intended to mix it. Well, then why are so many people pumping up bass and making bass heavier stuff? And like, I can understand cheap $5 or $1 headphones maybe pumping up the bass so that they sound good. It feels warm and fun, and they sound like they're good when they're not. It's a lot better than not having any bass and they're just crunchy, and then you turn up the bass and it sounds like absolute trash. I've had that on a few earbuds before. No. So I get why cheap headphones do it, but expensive, like Sony, Bose, the likes of those people, I can understand maybe pumping up the bass because some people like a lot of bass, but then why not just have an equalizer for that? I don't know. This is stuff I'm learning about and I'm curious about. But ultimately, I went with flat. Also it brings the question too. So what are they listening to on? Like, I'm sure Anna Graceman goes to a recording studio in Nashville and actually like has expensive monitors from the studio that she listens to. Maybe she's even fortunate enough that she bought a personal pair of those monitors for herself at home. I don't know. But like, what are the artists actually listening to on the v-moda brand, not the Crossfade M1 or not the M100 ANCs, but like some of their previous, like the wired M100s. They're used a lot by DJs and people. They're really tough, solid built. That's why I chose v-moda. And so maybe, or I imagine like some of the music I like, I'm pretty sure is made by like a 12-year-old kid in his bedroom. I'm pretty sure he didn't have expensive monitors when he mixed this song, so that begs the question. But so these sound better because they're wider. All the different sounds are separated more versus clumped together. If you don't know what that is, you can't visualize that. You're just going to have to grab a pair of earbuds and listen to them, and then grab a pair of headphones. If you don't have a pair of big, good headphones, find someone who does. Maybe go try the demo at the store. Go into a store that has headphones that you can demo, and demo some of the big, expensive headphones, and then put your earbuds in or whatever cheap that you have, put your pair of earbuds in that you have at home, or go buy a pair from Dollar Tree and compare them that way. And because you're listening to the store demo, you can look up the same song on your phone and listen to it there and compare. I don't know. But they sound better. They're wider, and each individual sound is better. They're better at pushing bass. So what I'm thinking and what I'm probably going to try with these, because these sound pretty awful flat. I have a pair of the Jaybird X3s. I think I did a video on them once. I found those for like $3 at DI one time. Those sound awful. Those are way flat and icky, and maybe I just need to tune those and they'll sound good. I'll have to try that. I didn't know that was a thing back when I bought those, so I will try those, see if I like them, see if they're an extra pair of earbuds to keep somewhere as a spare for myself. But so what I'm thinking is maybe not have the super colorful tone that those I have tuned to, because that's not what my coworker, my friend claims that you want. Maybe have them be just a little bit off from flat. Maybe have the bass at like 1 instead of 0, and some of the highs and mids a little bit up. Something like that. Tune them so that there's just a little bit more of the non-flat sound, and they sound okay. Because, I mean, like, this is better at bass in some of the frequencies, so tune these to try and sound like those, so they're still flat, but they're not colorful. That's just some quick thoughts, something interesting that I noticed. But if you haven't experienced flat, go try it out, and it's really interesting to hear on these versus these, because I compared these to my previous headphones, which were the v-moda Crossfade 2 wireless codex edition, which these are a little bit bassy, but they do have highs and they have mids. They call them crystal clear sound, C3. I say it has a little bit of everything and it sounds good. These are my favorite earbuds because of that and because of fit. That'll be a whole nother video that I'll try and make nice looking and scripted. But comparing these to my previous v-moda headphones, the comparison was different. The Crossfade 2 wireless codecs, those sound a little bit bassy. They're definitely bassier, more warm sounding than these the M100 ANCs are. It's a completely different comparison. It's like these are tighter together sounding on all the instruments. The Crossfade 2s are wider sounding, but still warm, just like these are warm. Between these are very flat and kind of icky sounding, because the bass isn't as good sounding, because the smaller drivers aren't as good at making the bass. They're not tuned for it as well. These just kind of sound icky when they're flat, not very good. They sound okay when they're flat, and I've actually gotten used to it. So I kind of all prefer these flat, but for certain things it's just not quite right. So yeah, we'll see what happens later on if I do a follow-up. I have no idea. That's it for this video. Hopefully you found those thoughts interesting. If you liked it, great. If you didn't, whatever. I'm just getting started. I'll see you guys in whatever's next.